The house at 117 Alder Street had been empty for 6 years. At least, that's what everyone believed. The previous owner, Martin Hale, vanished one winter night without warning. No note, no packed bags, no signs of struggle. His car remained in the driveway, covered slowly by snow, as if waiting for someone who never came back. After that, the house stopped being a home. Neighbors avoided looking at it. Real estate listings quietly removed it. And when the city finally sealed it due to structural concerns, no one complained. Except the house never became silent. People living nearby began noticing small things. Lights flickering behind the curtains long after the power had been cut. Footsteps pacing the second floor at night. A television glow pulsing faintly through the living room windows. And every night, at exactly 3:03 a.m., the house came alive. The first official report came from a delivery driver named Jonah Reeves. Jonah worked late routes and knew the neighborhood well. On April 17th, he parked near Alder Street to check his phone. That's when he noticed the light. The living room window of number 117 was glowing. Jonah frowned. The house had been abandoned for years. Then the television turned on. He could see flickering shapes through the curtains, changing colors, fast movement. The sound was muted, but Jonah swore he could hear laughter drifting through the cracked window. He took out his phone and recorded for a few seconds. Then the TV shut off. The light vanished. The house returned to darkness. At 3:04 a.m., Jonah posted the video online the next morning. Most people dismissed it as a prank. Someone sneaking into an abandoned house. Faulty wiring. But the comments filled quickly with something unsettling. I hear it too. My bedroom faces that house. It happens every night. Always after 3. Within a week, 3 more videos appeared. Different angles. Different phones. Same pattern. At exactly 3:03 a.m., the house woke up. Police eventually responded after repeated noise complaints. They entered the house on May 2nd at 2:45 a.m., determined to catch someone inside. The interior was cold. Dust covered the floors. Cobwebs stretched across door frames. There was no furniture, no electricity, no TV. At 3:02 a.m., one officer reported feeling a sudden pressure change, like stepping into a sealed room. At 3:03 a.m., the house changed. Every room filled with sound. Footsteps upstairs. A television playing in the living room. A man coughing softly in the kitchen. The officers froze. They followed the sound of the TV. The living room screen flickered to life. Static. Then an image formed. A man sat on a couch, staring directly into the camera. It was Martin Hale. Older. Paler. His eyes unblinking. The officers shouted. The image did not react. Then Martin spoke. "You're early," he said calmly. The screen went black. The house fell silent. It was 3:04 a.m. The footage from the officers' body cameras was classified, but one detail leaked. The man on the screen did not behave like a recording. He reacted to the officers' movements, tracked them with his eyes, paused when they spoke, as if he was watching live. Investigators dug into Martin Hale's past. In the months before his disappearance, Martin had complained to friends about insomnia. He said the house wouldn't let him sleep. "It doesn't shut down," he told one coworker, "even when everything's off." He claimed the walls made noise, that the rooms shifted slightly at night, that the television turned on by itself. He also mentioned something stranger. "It learns your schedule," he said. "Once it knows when you're awake, it stops pretending." The last text Martin ever sent read, "I think the house knows I'm tired." After the police incident, the city scheduled the house for demolition. The night before demolition, a security guard was stationed outside. At 3:03 a.m., the house woke up. Lights flared in every room. Televisions flickered behind every window. Multiple voices echoed at once. The guard ran. At 3:04 a.m., silence returned. Demolition crews arrived at sunrise. They found the guard's radio on the ground, still transmitting. On the open channel, a man's voice whispered, "Stay awake." The demolition never happened. Engineers claimed the structure was unstable in ways they couldn't explain. Equipment malfunctioned near the foundation. Power systems failed repeatedly. The house remained standing, and the activity continued. But something changed. Now, the house doesn't wake up every night, only when someone stays awake too long nearby. Neighbors report that if you sit in a car across the street late enough, the lights begin to flicker. If you keep watching, the TV turns on. And if you're still there at 3:03 a.m., the house shows you something familiar. Your own living room, your own couch, your own reflection on the screen. Watching back, last year, a college student named Emma Ruiz tried an experiment. She parked outside 117 Alder Street and live-streamed herself staying awake. At 3:01 a.m., she felt dizzy. At 3:02 a.m., the live stream began to lag. At 3:03 a.m., the house turned on. Emma screamed. Viewers watching the live stream saw something she didn't. In the reflection of her windshield, the television inside the house displayed Emma sitting in her car, perfectly still, eyes closed, as if asleep. The live stream ended at 3:04 a.m. Emma was found an hour later, unconscious but alive. When she woke up, she said only one thing. It doesn't want you to sleep. It wants you to stay. Today, 117 Alder Street remains sealed, but residents swear the house still watches. They say the lights come on for insomniacs, for night shift workers, for people who stare too long at screens in the dark. Because the house doesn't need electricity. It feeds on attention, and once it knows you're awake, it never goes back to sleep. So what do you think is happening inside the house on Alder Street? Is it a psychological phenomenon feeding on exhaustion and fear? Or is the house itself awake, aware, waiting for someone who won't look away? If a place never sleeps, what happens to the people who do? Share your theory below, and subscribe to the Shadow Case Files for the next story that refuses to rest.